Okay, welcome back to FTL. We are playing through the game on easy mode using the Osprey. And when we last left off, I had just finished Sector 7 and was about to jump to the final sector. So let's do that now. Alright, with 268 scrap, my first instinct might be to immediately spend it all on upgrading my ship. But as we know, there is at least one store hiding somewhere in this sector. So there's a chance that we might find it, and then there's a chance that it might have something good, like cloaking or more weapons or another defense drone, things like that. So I'm going to hang on to the scrap for now and check out what's in the sector and see how we do. No store within sight, but thankfully we should be able to reach at least one of these repair stations, maybe two, by the time we catch up with the Rebel flagship. And because I'm going to have to rely on missile weapons a fair bit in this fight, I want to visit at least one of these and get some more ammunition. Here we find some more intelligent life forms. I've never actually taken this bring some of the creatures on board to sell option before, so let's see what that does. Oh, they attack and we have to run back to our shuttle, so you get nothing, I guess, for doing that. Or at least, you have a chance of getting nothing for doing that. That's good to know. We hit our first repair point, we get 4 more missiles, 5 more drone parts, which is very good. Still no store in sight, so we'll jump down here. And we find a Federation, or a Rebel scout. Let's see if I can weaken a couple of their crew members, and then if I can do that, I might send over my boarding party, and just try to maximize the amount of scrap I will get from this fight. Make sure to turn on my artillery beam in the meantime, just to make sure that I have the option of taking these guys out if I decide to do so. Alright, now I'm pretty sure I can win a fight. So I'm going to turn off my weapons systems and beam my Mantis on board. Half their crew is dead, and most of the other crew members are severely wounded, so I should be able to win this without too much danger. Yeah, there we go. They've got 1 crew member left, and I should be able to take him down without any trouble. There we go. We get almost 100 scrap for that, and 6 fuel. So, that was a well-calculated risk, in my opinion. Gotta heal up my Zoltan crew member, who took a hit or 2 in that last fight. And let's see what's around. There's another repair point down there, which I'm tempted to jump to, but we should stop beating around the bush and just take on the Rebel flagship. So instead, I'm going to spend my scrap on some upgrades. We've maxed out our weapon capacity. Upgrade my medbay once. Oxygen once, just for the sake of having durability, and the same thing with my autopilot. Actually, no, instead of autopilot, I'm going to do drone control. And autopilot, because I can afford both. Excellent. With that done, I can actually turn on both breach missile launchers, which will be really handy for at least the first stage of the final boss fight. So with that all said and done, I think we are ready to take it on. I am much less well equipped than I normally like to be for this fight, so I don't actually rate my odds too highly. I'd say I have maybe a 50-50 shot here of actually beating all 3 forms of the final boss. But we'll give it a shot, we'll see how it goes. Alright, they are going to cloak immediately. I'm going to respond by turning on my defense drone. without cloaking, I have no way of negating the ship's super attacks, which I suspect is going to be quite a problem. Target both of my breach missiles at their shields. That worked extremely well. Follow that up with some burst lasers, only one of which hit, but that's okay. And at this point, I'm just going to have to kind of hope for the best as far as my luck with the missile launcher goes until I can get it destroyed. Oh, and I did it again. I lost my boarding party. Well, that officially counts as a serious mistake on my part. So there you go. I am not perfect at this game. Just lost my chief means of dealing with that missile launcher. I've got this rock crew member that I'll be able to send on board next fight, but that is a pretty huge mistake on my part. I've got nobody to blame for that except myself. Forgot how much damage those breach missiles do. I was not expecting to take out the first form so quickly. Which is good, except that now I am short crew. I'm going to swap out one of the breach missiles for that ion bomb, and we'll give that a try. And I'll turn on the heavy laser as well, so I can shoot that at the enemy ship. Alright, so my chances just went down slightly, but we'll give this a shot and see how it goes. Okay. Start off with an ion bomb and teleport my rock men into the missile bay. Ion bomb misses, that's alright. I forgot to turn on my defense drone, so they got a boarding drone on board. Not super concerned about that just yet. Alright, so that ion bomb did enough damage to take down 2 levels of shield protection. I'm going to shoot a whole bunch at the enemy shields and see what gets through. A couple things got through, so better than nothing. As you can see, I am taking quite a beating here. And I'm not doing very much damage at the same time. And now I have to deal with the super attack. And, oh man, yeah, I may not survive this fight. At this point, it's really all about trying to do some damage control until I can get everything fixed. I'm going to bring my Rockman back on board and send him in to defend my oxygen bay against that boarding drone. And at this point, it is doubtful that I'm going to survive this, honestly. I am taking a lot of damage, and I'm doing an okay amount of damage back. It's getting low, but I'm really taking a beating here. Need to have a few lucky hits. Alright, there we go. Well, that was not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination. Gonna suck some air out of that room that's on fire to try and deal with that. And once that fire is out, I will consider my options for getting the medbay repaired without losing any more crew. This is really just going to be a matter of wearing down that boarding drone and then getting my guys out of there before they die to oxygen loss. Alright, they're getting low, time to get them out. I'll send in my pilot to try and hopefully finish off that drone, or at least get close to finishing off that drone. This is why breaches in your medbay can be very difficult to deal with. I have no way of healing up my guys until I get all that repaired. I'm rapidly running out of ways to actually repair that. I'll have to send in these two to try and finish off that boarding drone. And then hopefully the Engi will be able to get that breach fixed before... Okay, good. I think he got that fixed. Yeah, because he's repairing the med bay. And alright, oxygen is back now. I can send in the rest of my crew to fix that up. Okay, so what have we learned from this fight? We learned that dual breach missiles is incredibly powerful. Really nice. The ion bomb was useful, but not amazing, which is kind of how I felt about it already, so that's not a big surprise. Really angry with myself for losing my 2 Mantis crew members on that first form of the ship, but mistakes happen, and you just have to learn to deal with them. And in the meantime, I think I have a decent chance of surviving this last fight. I'm going to swap the ion bomb out for my second breach missile. Juggle my weapons around a little bit. That weapon pre-igniter is really what helped me survive this fight, I think. And with everybody healed up, let's see. No, I can't get to that repair point before the rebel ship, so I'm just going to have to see if I can get through this with less than half of my hull. I think my 50-50 assessment still stands. I'm going to open up with everything I've got to start out with. Yeah, and of course both of those missiles don't hit. And they sent boarders on. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to deal with these boarders just by sucking the air out of the sector of the ship that they're in. I don't think they'll be able to get through the triple reinforced doors. And I am just not hitting. Yeah, you can see they're losing health very rapidly. I've got 2 more boarders in... Well, they were in my med bay, now they're not. I'm not sure how they got through that so quickly. And I'm just really hoping that my breach missiles will actually hit. Got very lucky with that super attack there. They are severely injuring that Engi, who's got to get out of there. Okay. This looks like it might be doable. I just have to survive long enough to take off the rest of the enemy ship's health. I took some damage to my weapon bay from those enemy boarders. Should really kill them off with oxygen deprivation. There we go, and... Oh, thank God I pulled it off. Alright. That was the closest final boss fight we've had so far. You can see, those super attacks are much more threatening when you don't have cloaking to negate them. I made a dumb mistake with my boarding crew and lost it on the first form of the final boss. And even that third form, while it's not as dangerous as the second, in my opinion, can still be very difficult when you are not fully kitted out as far as gear goes. But we were able to pull it off, so hopefully that was informative and entertaining, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.